up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Cage Review. My name is Kevin Jackwitz, and I am here to do a review for WWE Money in the Bank. What a clusterfuck of a pay-per-view this was. You had a couple of cool moments. You had a couple of what the fuck are you thinking moments. And I'm going to get right into what I absolutely hated about this. Now, normally, I do everything as it happened. I go from the first match to the last match. But I really wanted to talk about a few things here that just... I don't fucking understand what WWE is thinking, and it's the reason why I did not pay for this. I had my girlfriend get her free month subscription, so I'll get this, and there's one more pay-per-view after this that I get. I think it's Extreme Rules or some shit, I don't care. And then we're going to cancel right after that second pay-per-view, because they're not getting my money, and I am not watching Raw or SmackDown on the network that's played on, because I don't want them getting my ratings either. And if more people stood up and did this, the people that actually feel like I do, you would have to feel like WWE would have to check themselves and maybe start making their product better. So let's get into what's wrong with this pay-per-view, shall we? First of all, the thing that really chapped my ass more than anything else is the Carmella-Asuka match. Carmella is a pointless champion. Her character sucks. It is as juvenile as you could possibly get. And I understand that there are plenty of idiots who don't care and, oh, she's cool. If you're a kid, yes. If you have any fucking intelligence whatsoever, Carmella sucks as a character. She sucks as a heel. All she does is get irritating heel heat, which is a cheap way of doing it. An extremely cheap way of doing it. And she cannot perform in the ring. Now let's start with the match itself. I'll give Carmella credit where it is due. I will always give somebody credit where it's due. She had an interesting submission move that I've never seen her do before. So okay, that was cool. She did a suicide dive. Other than that, the match was not good. She cannot have a good match with Asuka. Asuka has had good matches with literally every single female wrestler that she has stepped in the ring in it. They've all looked amazing. Bayley, Sasha Banks, Ember Moon, Charlotte. These matches have not just been good, they have been great. And even with female wrestlers that aren't quite as good, the matches look good because Asuka is that damn good. This match was not a good match. That says how bad Carmella sucks. Not only did Carmella win the match, but she went over on Asuka 90% of this match. They made Asuka look weak as fuck, and they tried to make Carmella look legitimate. She will never look legitimate. She can't fucking wrestle. She can barely move in the ring. There is no way you can sell this woman as a legitimate champion. And I kind of feel at this point that the people that get the most boo reaction from the crowd, the people in WWE that the fans like the least, are the ones that are pushed as big heels, just because it's the only way for them to get this cheap ass heel pop. And it is incredibly lazy on WWE's part. Now, I'm a fan. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But speculating as a fan, there has to be some reason that this dumb, talentless hack is in a championship position. I don't get it, and it just disturbs the fuck out of me, especially when she's going over somebody as talented as Asuka. I think it's a complete disrespect to the women's division. I really do. Now, let's get to the end of this clusterfuck of a match. You have somebody pops up on the ring apron with this fucking fake Asuka costume, and of course Asuka's totally transfixed by this weird character up on the apron. The funny thing is, the mask, the Asuka mask that this other person had on, looked like it was drawn on by a fucking 7-year-old. Like, it was so fucking ignorantly done. Takes the mask off, and it's fucking Ellsworth. James Ellsworth is back in WWE. Great. Now we have literally the most talentless champion that WWE has ever created. And now you have Ellsworth back with her, who quite frankly has never contributed a damn thing to the business. I don't think that he is relevant in any way, shape, or fucking form. I think it's stupid. So Asuka is now transfixed by Ellsworth. Like, it's just, she's mystified. And of course, Carmella kicks her while she's distracted. Carmella gets the fucking win. Still your SmackDown Women's Champion, literally the most talentless wrestler that has ever walked through those ropes. Lana is fucking better than her now. And I will say that it's kind of a toss-up between Carmella and Nia Jax, because Nia Jax equally as incapable of pulling off a good match. Which brings me to the next match that just infuriated me as a fan. Ronda Rousey, the biggest name you have brought into the WWE in a very long time. One of the few people that are credible fighters that could make this shit look real. And you pair her up with the woman that cannot wrestle at all on Raw. The single woman that could not possibly pull off a good match if she wanted to. I've said from the beginning that this match was a fucking mistake. That it was stupid, that the build-up sucked, that there was literally no stakes and I could give a shit less what happened in it. And guess what? I was right. Because the whole match, people were behind Ronda Rousey, but she was getting cremated by Nia Jax. All this match was Ronda Rousey selling to Nia Jax's power. Even though Nia Jax has been beat by just about everybody on the female roster, including fucking people the size of Sasha Banks. So you absolutely destroy Ronda Rousey's fucking credibility. You destroy it. Just tear it the fuck apart. And then you're trying to make Nia Jax look like a badass. Okay, I get it. She's 6 foot, what the fuck ever, and fat as hell. That is not a fucking athlete. She's big. That's it. She loses wind in matches. She can't carry a match. And then when she loses wind, she gets dangerous and sloppy. And she has made fucking people get almost very hurt in many matches that I've seen Nia Jax in. I mean, this whole thing sucked. And so the only way that they could possibly salvage this was they went the safe route. Alexa Bliss, she wins the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match earlier on in the show. She comes in, she attacks Ronda Rousey with the briefcase. Okay, that's legitimate. You want to take the real threat out. She attacks Nia Jax's arm, which Ronda Rousey was going after when she finally started getting some steam. Hits the DDT, pins Nia Jax, your new women's champion, Alexa Bliss. I didn't necessarily have a problem with this. I think it was the safe route for WWE to go because, let's face it, if they had either Nia or Ronda Rousey win, they were going to get backlash from one section or another. There was no safe spot for these guys. But as it turns out, this was not a safe spot either because a lot of people are pissed off that Alexa Bliss is now a champion again. Now, I wasn't. I love Alexa Bliss. I think she's incredibly talented. She's magic on a microphone. Her matches are decent. They're not incredibly great, but she can pull off a good match. Now, people are pissed off about the fact that Alexa Bliss has already been champion for a long time. She wasn't out of the title picture that long, and now she's already champion again. And there were a lot of very deserving women in that Money in the Bank ladder match that I think probably should have won over Alexa Bliss. I think you could have elevated new talent, Ember Moon, somebody, and they really dropped the ball on this. I think they really dropped the ball. So, those are two major fuck-ups here. Now let's get into the pay-per-view as a whole. It starts out with Gallows and Anderson versus the Bludgeon Brothers. I didn't care about this match. There was not too much build-up. I'm not really a fan of Gallows and Anderson. It's not that I don't like them. I think that Anderson's pretty damn good in the ring. Gallows is your typical big guy. But their gimmick and them trying to be funny just doesn't work with me, and it just falls flat. I'm sorry, that's how I feel. Bludgeon Brothers, they're the absolute beast. You know they're going to be built to be the beast. They win. There you go. Daniel Bryan is the first match of the night with Big Cass. It's going to be your typical David and Goliath scenario. David trying to cut down Goliath. And that's exactly what it was. Daniel Bryan, does his usual shtick where, stick and move, try to go really fast, and eventually Big Cass is going to hit him with one big punch, and then it's going to be Big Cass's turn. You know they're not going to put Daniel Bryan under Big Cass in Chicago. The rest of the night would be a fucking riot zone. WWE knows this. The crowd would have shut them down. And so you automatically know that Daniel Bryan is not going to lose to big fucking Cass in Chicago. So of course Daniel Bryan goes over. It's exactly what you would expect it to be. Backstage, after that you have Kevin Owens. He's talking to New Day. He's trying to get people to team up with him to take Braun Strowman out of the ladder match later. Smart move, good bit, you know, except it was kind of corny with the pancake thing. I'm sorry, that's run its course. So short and sweet there. And then you get Sami Zayn versus Bobby Lashley, which is basically the first match with different parallels. Now you have David being the heel and Bobby Lashley being the face. Except this time, Bobby Lashley is going to win. He's going to go over Sami Zayn. And you kind of figure that. You know, the guy, he's brand new and they really fucked him up already with his sister promo bullshit. Worst writing I've seen in WWE maybe ever. And it's just, you know, what else could they do, honestly? I will say, though, that Bobby Lashley had a lukewarm response when he came down the ramp, you know, when his music hit. You know, he had some cheers, he had some boos, he, you know, was kind of in the middle. By the end of the match, though, he was really being cheered. The crowd, you know, he was doing his standing suplex, the crowd was chanting one more time. So he fed into that, and it got the crowd behind him. So he was smart for doing that. And I'll say this. I do like Bobby Lashley. I think he's very good. I think that, you know, he's getting a lot of shit for these terrible promos. But you guys got to remember, those the writers. Bobby Lashley as a performer, I think is good. And he's also a legitimate badass. Like, his MMA record stands to speak for itself. So, that's how I feel about that. After that, you get Elias versus Seth Rollins. Elias does his bit, you know, and it's funny because he starts talking about he doesn't want to perform to these scumbags. And then it was really funny because the Chicago crowd, being the Chicago crowd, starts chanting, "We are scumbags." And it was great. It was hilarious. The match itself was actually not as good as I thought it was going to be. A lot of people were saying this could be the match of the night. Maybe it had potential. Seth Rollins is amazing, but I don't feel like it was. I feel like the match actually could have been a lot better than it turned out to be. Elias, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about him as a performer yet in the ring. He's got a good gimmick, he's got a good shtick, he uses it very well. But strictly speaking, as far as his in-ring work, I'm not completely sold on it yet. So, and I'm reserving judgment because I honestly haven't really paid attention all that much, to be very honest. Seth Rollins, I think, is absolutely amazing in virtually everything he does. So the match was good, not great. Seth Rollins gets the win. And he gets the win with a roll-up. It was funny because Elias rolls up Seth Rollins, tries to hold on to his tights. Rollins reverses it and grabs Elias's tights, picks up the win. So it was kind of funny there. Then you get the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and I'm going to read off the names here. It's Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Natalya, Ember Moon, Lana, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair. So, at least 7 out of those 8 women are absolutely great in the ring. They are very, very, very good. And Lana has shown a lot of improvement, I'll give her that. Now, one thing I'll say about this match is every single woman in this match took a good bump. Like, there was not one person that did not take a good bump, and they all had a spot. They all had a short spot where they were able to shine. At the end of the day, Alexa Bliss takes it. So, you get backstage, Kurt Angle, Paige, and Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin I can't fucking stand. He has no personality. He has no business being in WWE as far as I'm concerned. I just don't see it at all, period. So he's going on about, you know, Kurt Angle doesn't want to upset Stephanie McMahon and he needs to make sure that they pick up both briefcases. Paige was saying that she's still trying to get the men's briefcase for SmackDown. And then, like, Baron Corbin's taking shots at Kurt Angle, and then Paige chimes in and says, well, didn't you lose your Money in the Bank cash and didn't you screw that up? So it was a nice stab there, but whatever. Then you get Jinder Mahal versus Roman Reigns as the next match. Roman Reigns is the guy that WWE is just determined to push, and it's the guy that the fans are just determined to let WWE know we don't fucking want pushed. And Jinder Mahal is not good. I'm sorry, he's not. The fact that he was a world champion just baffles me. It was like The Miz when he was champion. I didn't fucking get it. I still don't get it. I understand they're trying to reach out to their India crowd and whatever. I don't give a shit. He sucks. He cannot cut a good promo. He cannot pull off a good match, and that is the end of the story. So you have Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal in a match that literally nobody gives a shit about. And this crowd, I love Chicago. I'm from Chicago. I fucking love it. They turned on this match so fucking hard. They were chanting everything just to let everybody know they didn't give a shit about this match. They were chanting boring, this match sucks, fuck this match. They were chanting Johnny Wrestling, Velveteen. I mean, just absolutely shitting on these two. And I loved it. I did. I'm not going to fucking lie. I loved every second of it. These... Short version is Roman Reigns wins. Nobody cares. Then you get the Asuka Carmella match. I've already talked about that. It disgusted me. Then you get Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles. And this was a good match. This was I don't know if I want to say the best match of the night, but it could be. AJ Styles and Nakamura had a very good match. They had a lot of very good spots. Last man standing match. So no rules. They could do whatever they want. And I think the problem for me personally with this match, as much as I hate to say it like this, is after watching NXT and watching Gargano and Ciampa go after each other the way they did and some of the amazing spots they pulled off, this actually played second fiddle to that match. And AJ Styles is, without a doubt, one of the best performers WWE has ever had, period. And I really like Nakamura. Now Nakamura, actually they're both not exactly young anymore. They're both over their 40 mark. But, you know, the match was really good. And they had some really cool spots. You know, there was a spot where they had AJ on one of the end tables, and then Nakamura goes to the other side of the announce tables, and he runs across and hits AJ with a Kinshasa. That was pretty cool. They had a lot of really cool spots together. At the end of the day, AJ pulls out the win. Hopefully this chapter is closed, and we found out on Tuesday that it is indeed closed. Hopefully. After that, you get the Nia Jax, Ronda Rousey, absolutely atrocious match. Fucking hated it. Couldn't stand either of the women's championship matches. Absolute slap in the face to the women's division. And the thing that really gets me is they were just bullshitting everybody and talking so hard about how they're pushing the women's division, and they give us this bullshit garbage. Nia Jax, Carmella, the Iconics. This is the fucking Divas division again. I don't give a fuck what you say. That's just how I feel. After that, you get the main event match, which is the Money in the Bank ladder match for the men. Okay. So, let me try to remember everybody here because I didn't write this part down. I know you got Braun Strowman, Bobby Roode, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, I think Samoa Joe is in there, I'm pretty sure. And that leaves like 3 spots. The thing that got me... Oh yeah, one of the New Day members. The thing that really got me with this match is that everybody starts out, you know, attacking Braun Strowman. And you know he's being built up to be the absolute beast. And it really came down to everybody was, you know, going after Strowman, and he overcomes the odds. They build the perfect beast with this. So, okay, that's fine. You know, maybe it's time to let Brock Lesnar lose the title and you need somebody legitimate to take that title. Braun Strowman would be the guy. Okay, no problem with that. But I felt like it was too obvious. Like, there were some people saying that they were surprised that Braun Strowman won. I was not surprised at all. I figured that was the only way to go. And there was a cool spot where they're going to try to take Braun Strowman out. Kevin Owens climbs this really tall, like 15, 20-foot ladder. And then Braun Strowman goes up to the top of the ladder with him and throws Kevin Owens off the ladder. And the thing that really got me, and this shows how fucking stupid WWE is. So, you have this stage set up. You have prop tables set in the right spot so you know it's going to be a prop for somebody falling. And somebody sticks a laptop on that table, and when Kevin Owens fell, he smacked that fucking laptop head first. And it showed. You did not see Kevin Owens the rest of the match. He was hurt like a son of a bitch, you could tell. And it was a stupid thing to do. Somebody needs their head fucking examined. And then Kevin Owens comes out Monday night, the next night, and he's still hurt really fucking bad, you could tell. And I mean, he's hurt really bad. It's the shit like this that makes WWE suck nowadays. People are just fucking careless. Just absolutely boneheaded bullshit. So, the match happens. Braun Strowman wins. No surprise. There was so much I did not like about this. So much that I really did not like. You have a good clean win for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match for once. But I think you gave it to the wrong person because, again, it's literally the only person who's been in the title picture most of the last few years. Give somebody else a fucking shot. I thought it was stupid. The cash-in was the only way to save Nia Jax, Ronda Rousey, and it still didn't save it. Carmella and Asuka just plain out sucked. Jinder Mahal, Roman Reigns just plain out sucked. Really, the only major highlight here is Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles in the men's ladder match in some ways. That's it. Those are the only two standouts. So as far as I'm concerned, this I'll give it a 1 out of 10. And the only reason it's getting 1 is because of Shinsuke and AJ. That's it. This pay-per-view, and this is why, like I said, I'm not contributing to anything for WWE. Shit like this is not worth my money. It's not worth the ratings. I'm going to watch my shit on YouTube because I want to still do the reviews. I'm going to still do the reviews until it hopefully gets better. Maybe. But I'm not watching it on the network, and I don't really give a shit what anybody thinks about it. Because they don't deserve my ratings. They don't deserve my money. And that's just where I'm at. So ladies and gentlemen, 1 out of 10 for this fucking garbage pay-per-view. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed the review, this scathing, blistering review, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackowitz. Cage Nation out.